Hello everybody, Mr. Pomel here. I'm a little bit chilly because it's in the middle of winter. That's why I have my gloves on. It's kind of cold in here. But, talking about these gloves, they're actually special gloves. You might not have realized this, but, they kind of just look like regular ones. But they're actually special gloves that they weren't made by, but they were given to me by my grandma because they're really unique. They might not look like it. They just kind of look like black gloves. But let me show you what I mean. If I pull it off, you're going to see that. Oh, look at that! It's like a piano because I love to play the piano and I love music. So this was a special present from my grandma. I love it. I would never want to lose any of these or misplace any of them. Kind of a little bit stretchy though. But they are special to me. And pull this one off too. They help keep me warm. And they make me think of my grandma. Kind of a special gift there. Talking about that, we have a book today kind of about something special like that from a grandmother. The name of the book is called The Mitten. Adapted and illustrated by Jan Brett. Adapted, that doesn't mean that she came up with the story, that she wrote it, but she adapted it because it's actually a folk tale. Very, very, very old folk tale that she kind of used and created some wonderful illustrations. Look at that. I love all these animals. Just look at the picture there. All these animals here. I see like a mouse, a bear, an owl, a rat. All these animals. Look at that. They're all looking right there, looking at that mitten. They're like, that's like a nice mitten there. Maybe it'll make them nice and warm. Let's see. Anyway, let's read it. Let's see what happens. The Mitten. Looks like a good story. There's actually really good pictures in here too. I can't wait. Oh, here we go. Like I was just saying. This page, it tells you that it's The Mitten, and it says right there that it is a Ukrainian folk tale. So originally it's from the country of Ukraine, but it was adapted in this version, and all of the wonderful illustrations were also added. I love it. Already the pictures are looking great. Once, there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. Look at that. He wanted white mittens. And look at these pictures. These pictures are pretty cool. Wow, look at that. If you look at the picture on this side, look at that. All that snow. You can kind of see through the mitten there. I think that's his grandma there. And all the snow. And then on this side, there he is. There is Nicky, kind of having a great time, enjoying the snow, dressed maybe a little bit differently, because I think he's in a little bit of a traditional Ukrainian outfit, but still pretty cool. And look at that. In that mitten there, you can see Grandma again picking out the different spools of yarn, trying to figure out exactly what color would be best. He wants white. Let's see. At first, his grandmother Baba did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. That's true. A white mitten in a white snow? That wouldn't be good. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens. Well, finally, Baba made them. She gave in. She decided that she would make them. Look at this picture there. There they are, the two of them, kind of discussing, like, what color mittens do we want to have? Nicky wants white. Baba said, no, but okay, I guess if that's what you want, that's what you'll get. I hope he doesn't lose them in the snow, because if they're pure white colored, they could easily get lost if he drops or something. I don't know. Well, after she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound. But then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. She wanted to make sure that he didn't lose the special mittens that she made for him. And of course, was responsible too. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Oh no, already he dropped it. He just left the house and he already dropped it. Oh. Well, we'll see what happens. Look, on this side, there's his grandma. Look at that, looks like feeding some geese there outside their house, outside their cottage there. And then over there, there's Nicky climbing the tree. Looks like he's having a fun time. But what's that down there at the base of the tree? Oh, yeah. That's the mitten. Dropped it already. And look in the glove there. You can kind of see the mitten picture there. What's coming up? Oh, I see an animal in there. I wonder what kind of animal that is. I kind of think we're going to find out. A mole, tired from tunneling along, because they dig through the earth, discovered the mitten and decided to burrow inside. Kind of climbed inside the mitten. Probably nice and cozy and warm in there. It was cozy and warm and just the right size. So he decided to stay. Perfect size for that mole. How about that? Wow. If you look at the picture here, you can kind of see. Well, there's Nicky running off, having a great time. There they are, all the snow, the cottage in the background. And then on this side, oh, look, I'll get a little bit closer. You can see, there's the mole climbing right into that mitten there. Looking, it looks nice and warm and cozy in there. I see it looks like a kind of a rabbit or a hare. Wonder if that might be becoming a part of our story. Next, a snowshoe rabbit came hopping along. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw... No, not my glove. He saw the mitten, and he wiggled in feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Because, of course, rabbits have big hind legs, like back legs, where they can really jump and kick. So that mole was like, whoa, you know what? Didn't want to get kicked by the rabbit. I don't blame him. Well, there's Nicky. And then over there, look at that. That mitten. Oh, it's stretching a little bit. Because I see the rabbit in there and the mole. And, oh, who do we got coming up next? I wonder what that critter is. I kind of bet we're going to find out. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, not being made ones to argue with someone covered in prickles. They made room. Yeah, because a hedgehog has like prickles and like spikes all over him. They're like, I don't want to argue with that. I guess we'll let him come in for a visit. Well, there's Nicky. Still doesn't even realize that he dropped his mitten, didn't he? There's one kind of on his belt there. He got one there, but he didn't realize he lost the other one. Maybe he'll get it back. And then look at that. All those, like how you're squeezing in there. That hedgehog is like, I'm squeezing in, getting in that mitten. Oh, and then look. To see something flying that's coming up next, maybe. Let's see. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, got in there nice and warm and cozy, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, that's kind of like the ruckus or the loud noises and stuff going on, he swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. They were kind of annoyed. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. I'm not surprised, because those the claws are the talons of an owl. I wouldn't want to go against those. Well, there's Nicky, having a great time. Look at, he's making like snowballs there. Got that mitten there in his belt, but only one. And, look at that owl. Wow, that's some owl there. And there's all the other animals. They're like, you're going to try to squeeze in here. There's not a lot of room. But they made room. And, who do I see peeking under the tree there? Maybe somebody coming up next. Think they could fit anybody in this mitten? I don't know, not my gloves, I couldn't stretch them that much. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mittens and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. They said, come on in. Yeah, because moles, they dig through the dirt and they have really sharp claws. Let me show you what I mean. Well, first, where are we going to start? There's Nicky, having a great time. Oh, what's that? I see somebody beneath him there. And then over there, whoa, yeah, look at those sharp claws there. Let's see if I can get an image of there they are. They're kind of sharp. I kind of wouldn't want to argue with that either. And then on this side, look at all the animals all squeezed together in there. They're all squished. I mean, they're looking kind of cozy. They're staying nice and warm. And then Nicky kept going. But look what's coming up next. I see another animal through that mitten to peek through. Let's see what's up next. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Ooh, a fox. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. Oh, I'm sleepy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. They didn't want to argue there. Well, there's Nicky. And look at that fox. Oh, he's poking his head in there. Look at that. You can't even see his head really because he's poking it. I see the owl peeking out. The owl is like, not a lot of room in here. But they're squeezing in. Let's see. Oh, look at this. If I look through this next kind of mitten hole here to peek through there, look what's coming up next, I think. Oh, I hope he doesn't try to get into that mitten because I don't think that would ever happen. Oof. Suddenly, a great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? I wouldn't argue with a bear. Would you argue with a bear? I hope not. Don't argue with a bear. Not a good idea. Wow. The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged to many times its size. But Baba, that's Grandma, Baba's good knitting held fast. I guess Baba made it really strong because, wow, look at that. Okay, well, there's Nicky. He's kind of sitting there on a tree stump. And then, look, you can't even see the whole bear. Look how huge that bear is. Poking his head into that mitten, which is all stretched. I see a couple of noses sticking out there. But you can't see much sticking out. And then, look who's coming up. Look at that little guy. Oh, and there's Nicky up there too. Along came a meadow mouse. No bigger than an acorn. That's really tiny. She wriggled into the one open space and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. Probably nice and warm sitting on that bear's nose. Look at this. Wow. I mean, it's like a whole crowd squeezed into that one. If Baba only knew who was visiting and kind of living in her mitten, she would be so shocked. Well, there's Nicky. Oh, look at that. He's looking down. I think he might have noticed that he only has the one mitten. Maybe. And then look at the other. Wow, look how big that other mitten is with all of those animals, all those different woodland creatures hanging out there, staying warm and cozy in Baba's great mitten. And now, look at that. Oh, if I look through that next kind of mitten hole there, I see Nicky. He looks a little upset. He looks nervous. He looks like he realized maybe he only has one glove. Oh, and look at that. I forgot to say. Look at that. The mouse sitting on top of the bear's nose. I bet that mouse has kind of tickly whiskers. You know, the whiskers on a mouse. If he was sitting on my nose, I might get a little itchy nose. The bear, tickled by those mouse's whiskers, all of a sudden gave an enormous an enormous sneeze. Oh. The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all different directions. Wow! Look at this. It's like, well, okay, there's Nicky, kind of on his way back home. But now look at this. Animals are flying everywhere because that bear let out such a huge sneeze. Achoo! All flying animals. Where's the mitten? I can't even see the mitten. I don't see it in the picture. Is it in the picture? I don't even think it's in the picture because it's probably shot up high there. Well, Nicky is on his way. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. I see the animals are kind of almost just landing in the snow there. Wow. On his way home, all of a sudden, Nicky saw a white shape off in the distance, it was his lost mitten, silhouetted against the blue sky. Wow, he kind of saw, I guess, when it flew off when the bear sneezed. Look at that. I see some animals there, landed in the snow. There's Nicky running because what does he see? He sees that, look at that, the mitten flying through the air from that bear's sneeze. And look at this, in this picture, all those animals, look at that, kind of landed face first, plump, into the snow there. Let's see. Oh, as Nicky ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. Oh, it's Grandma. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had both of his new mittens. I guess just in time he caught that one flying through the air. Nicky kind of lucked out because he was able to get that mitten thanks to that bear's sneeze. Achoo. Well, there, you can see through that mitten hole, I see some animals, they're kind of scampering away. There's Nicky holding one and up, catching that other mitten there as it was flying through the air. And look at that, there's his house, his cottage. And if I look in that window, oh, yep, I see Baba there in that window, peeking out, making sure Nicky is safe, making sure he has both of the mittens that she just made for him. And you know what? He did. And he got back home safe and sound, beautiful, with all of his mittens, except if I look at this picture, Baba looks a little confused. His grandma's thinking, something's up here. Because you know what? If I look through this mitten hole in this picture, there she is. Oh, there's Nicky too. They're both there. But I see Baba kind of holding up the mittens and looking and saying, you know what? Something's funny going on here because this mitten is kind of like regular. This one's all stretched out. I wonder why it's stretched out. Nicky, I wonder why it's stretched out. Nicky, maybe your cat knows what happened there. I don't know. Wonder if Nicky will ever tell. Maybe, maybe not. But that is the end of the story. I love it. That was so much fun. You know, imagine kind of cozying into a mitten. It'd probably be nice and warm in there. But that was The Mitten. I love it. Great story. Adapted and illustrated by Jan Brett. Mitten would be a nice place to get nice and warm and cozy. Know what else would make you kind of nice and warm and cozy? Quick check. Always nice on a cold day. But hopefully you enjoyed this book. I enjoyed that book too. It was a great story. Fun. Imagine kind of living in that mitten. My special gloves that my grandma made. They're kind of nice too. But anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. Many more great books coming up soon. I can't wait to read them to you. Think you're going to love them. But that's it for today. This is Mr. Pomel signing off. The Mitten book for today. Until next time, I will see you later. Goodbye.